A brief drop in crime this summer in Richmond was followed by a spike in shootings. 14 people shot over just 5 days last month.
We deserve justice. We deserve change. We deserve answers.
When you kill somebody, you do damage on the families. And think about they do damage to you too.
Last summer, CBS 6 hosted a town hall called Stop the Violence. An 8-person panel came together to answer your questions and work towards solutions. And now, 1 year later, we're bringing together a group of 5 Richmonders who have seen and felt the impact of violence firsthand. Does Richmond have a gun violence problem? What's being done to address it? And what would these individuals like to see going forward? Tonight, we share their voices. What do you see that works? One-on-one contact obviously seems to have a huge impact, I would guess.
Yeah, that's what we do. We identify the people who are at risk of gun violence. And that's what needs to happen more is identifying those who are at risk and then coming to them and seeing what they need and intervening. Once we do that, we try to, once we identify the people who may be shot or may be doing the shooting, we go to their door and let them know that. But that's one of the initial responses sometimes is, how do you know, why you think that I'm involved in something? I'm not doing nothing. And my immediate response is, we just, we have people that identify situations and your name, came up as somebody that's at risk, but I'm not here for that. We let them know automatically, we're only here to help. We're only here to connect you to resources. I tell them, straight up, I don't want to know anything that you got going on. I'm just here to see how I can help you. If you need somebody to talk to, connect you to therapy or whatever.
Question: what are we seeing, and what are we doing? We have ongoing programs. The Trauma Healing Response Network is over 33 organizations, nonprofits, advocates, mentors, and educators. And to what the brother was saying, we have programs like the Broken Men Foundation and the Broken Men Youth Academy. That's teenagers from junior high school, middle school, up to, I think, 27 years old. They mentor, they educate, and they build relationships. So what are we seeing and what are we doing? Yeah, we respond to firearm injuries and firearm deaths, and we come in and we provide resources to the families that are in crisis as a result. But the day before that happened, the week before that happened, the month before that happened, we're in that very community trying to build relationships.
And one of the things I actually, even early on in my teaching career, had to learn to realize once I started talking to the students, understanding where they were coming from, it was all right, I got to figure out new ways to support them and understand that they coming in here tired. It ain't because they don't want to learn, it's because they had a rough night. And they're leaving, this is the only time they're gonna be able to get some sleep. So it's how do we give grace? How do we find ways to support, our young people in the community? How do we make opportunities for our young men? I think, one of the things that the city, has done a lot of and focused on is youth programs. And I think that is a phenomenal thing, but what happens when kids age out of those programs? What happens to the 22, the 23, the 24-year-old that may not have had the best experience in education and may not have the skills? How do we help support those individuals so now they don't have to turn to the streets and turn to violence as a way to just survive and make the ends meet? How do we give them skills?
We've talked about a lot of interventions. We talked a lot about, applying resources, letting people, helping, whether it's a rent issue, whether it's an acute health issue. How would this play out in your neighborhood? How would we make an impact in your neighborhood?
I can't offer the drug dealer, stop selling drugs. No, I gotta have something to offer him. Man, look, I got pastor, and I got him, they got this program, bro, and they might get you in here doing this. You want a CDL, help these guys get out of the street. That's why I really focus on children, because you know what? I can't go get a grown man to change his ways. But that kid, I'm looking at the future. I'm thinking ahead of the game, because that little 10-year-old, he gonna be 16 in a little while. And he gonna be the one right here holding the gun if he don't get no structure in him. Put on, dress like me, dress like him. Come out in the hood, walk through. Don't put on no badge and no, cause they see that you automatically, even for my pastors, I love religion, nothing against it, but we can't go out with the No, we gotta look like them, talk like them. That's why people connect with me, because I'm not coming to put on no suit and talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you just like I talk to anybody else, because it's real.